Who? Which one? Oh, yeah. Whoops. Banners. All right.
Welcome back. We can finally start talking about some stuff again, which is nice. Obviously, it was slow season, so very excited to get back. Have more topics to talk about regarding the U Raiders, and just local news and everything. While everyone comes in, give us a follow, QX Goat, on YouTube. This is Josh. I'm Andrew.
This is Josh. I'm Andrew. Let's talk in our PBS voices today. Let's get it quick and done with. The draft's in 2 days, so we see a lot of hype online. The Jalen Walker train's kind of catching. To me, that was the lower of the picks. He's probably the 10th, the 12th ranked prospect. He didn't do the combine. He missed draft day due to an injury. He's kind of a tweener. We don't know if he's going to be edge. We don't know if he's going to be a linebacker. To me, he's just kind of that utility player. But for me, I'm not big on him. I think he'll be good, but I'm not big on him because he doesn't have a defined position. If he had a defined position, I'm like, yeah, nab him, put him at edge, put him at linebacker. But to me, he's a edge rusher or a 3-4 outside linebacker blitzer, kind of what they did with Khalil Mack in his rookie season. But Mack transferred defense in, and that's where he had success. So to me, that's what he is. I would rather get a different player than him, to be honest. If Genty's not there, I'd rather pass on him. I'd rather get a tackle. I'd rather trade back and get Brown or Will Johnson. That's just my opinion. If we do draft him, that would be the least favorite. But you got to think, anybody in this top 10 is probably going to start on our defense or offense when we draft him. That's how you have to approach it.
Sorry to laugh. We have comments here. We have round 1, Scattaboo, round 2, Scattaboo, round 3, Scattaboo. Are you Scattaboo?
Scattaboo.
That's fucking hilarious. No, I'm on this. Obviously, we need linebacker help. I'm going to trust Spytek going into the draft. He's had great drafts in Tampa Bay. I don't feel nervous as I did, the past 2 regimes. So I'm excited on what that Spytek's going to do. He's had great picks. He's picked, Bucky Irving late. He knows what he's doing. He's a great drafter. Personally, Jalen Walker, like I said, we just need the help. So, I don't hate it. I would prefer, obviously we're just fans. So obviously we want that star power. We want the Travis Hunters. We want the Ashton Gentrys. We want the, quarterback of the future. But Jalen Walker could be a stud too. And I'm going to trust Spytek going into this draft.
Yeah. There's multiple players we kind of realize that we can get. We can get Campbell if the Patriots pass on him, or Mimbu. We can get Graham. Walker's obviously one. Barron or Will Johnson if we trade back, which I think is a real possibility. It just depends how the Raiders feel about Walker. Like I said, to me personally, again, I would draft something that's a bigger need. We did sign White. To me, I'm not saying White's as talented as him, but he's that tweener, 6'1", 240, super fast, in coverage, gets sideline, more of an athletic ability versus a player. Walker's the same thing. He's extremely athletic, but again, he does play 2 different positions, and we don't know what he's going to be in the NFL. I don't think the Raiders need a project at a player. They need somebody that's going to go in day one and be a stud. I think Brown and Johnson give us that. I think Graham gives us that. I think Campbell or Mimbu give us that. Walker, on the other hand, I don't think he's that. I don't think he comes in day one to be a stud. I think he comes in and learns and gets to adapt, try to kind of like Wilson did with the pass rush, and then becomes good in a year or 2. He's like the 10th or 12th graded player in the draft. I don't think you draft one like that top 10.
Yeah, he's according to Next Gen, he is ranked 1, 2, 3, 4. He's ranked a little lower. He might be 10. Let's see, 1, 2, 3.
Well, Next Gen has him as a linebacker. PFF and everything else pretty much has him as an edge. I
ranked 11.
What team's going to put him? Like in a perfect world, my God, if somebody like Belichick could get their hands on this kid and put him as a 3-4 rush linebacker or like the old school Steelers defense, he'd be a fucking animal. Yeah. But the NFL is kind of going away from that kind of stuff. So he's going to have to learn how to cover. He's good enough in zone. Obviously, he's a linebacker. He's not good in man. Mm-hmm. But he's extremely athletic, and I think that's a positive for him. But, like I made the joke, just go get Isaiah Simmons and call it a day.
Yeah.
I would say he's probably 4th or 5th on my list who I would want at that pick, realistically.
That's valid. Hey, real quick, Josh, you are not live on Instagram.
It says I'm live.
I know, but you're not.
It says end
I
live
usually
video.
try- I usually try to tap in and check it out.
Let me do it again then.
Yeah.
So just start video.
Oh no. Yeah, there it goes. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
see, I was
pressed it.
live. Now I gotta create the live thing again. Killing me, Smalls.
Well, you weren't on my side.
It's fucking get off McDonald's Wi-Fi.
But yeah, Jalen Walker. I mean, he's a very real possibility. There's a guy on Twitter who's gotten a couple picks right the past few years, and he's predicted Walker. So, yeah,
I mean, would you be happy with it? That's what I want to know. You think he'd be happy with it?
I'll answer that right now. What's up, Fakanzi Raider? Yeah, I agree. Hopefully, get some game changers. Happy draft week. Finally, things to talk about. Excitement back into the season. Schedule will be dropping soon, so I'm excited. Thanks for tuning in. Would I be happy with it? I'll put the trust in Spytek. And hopefully he, proves us all wrong. I mean, obviously, like, we want that superstar, we want that guy, we want the Gentry, we want all those guys, we want the T-Max, the guys who can go down and catch a ball 50 yards down the field. But we need a linebacker.
I'm not big on wide receiver. I know a lot of people were hyped around him. I'm like, no. Stay away from that shit.
It's a glaring need, though. We obviously need a linebacker. We lost all our linebackers, so it's a glaring need.
But is he a linebacker? That's the point.
I would say so. I would say he's a linebacker. He plays the blitz real well. He does real well in run coverage. He has the speed to cover. Let's pull him up real quick so I can do a little more.
I'll share the PFF with it so people can see. So this is the PFF on what positions he's played. So if we scroll down, this is why I kind of said he's a tweener. He played 249 snaps on D-line and 311 on the box, and he lined up as a slot. I'm guessing because of rotation, coverage swaps, things like that. They're probably not lining him up at nickel very often. Yeah. But he lined up in a slot position, maybe a linebacker or running back went out to create a mismatch. But as you see, he's at a 60-40 split for D-line versus in the box as a linebacker. So
he also had 10.5 tackles for a loss last year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a good possibility there. I don't know. I mean, do you think we're going to draft him? I honestly, I'm not too sure.
That's the thing. It all depends on what the Patriots do. I think that's the number one key because number 1, 2, and 3 are pretty much a done deal. You're going to have Carter, Ward, and Hunter gone. 4 can be Genty or tackle. I don't think the Patriots are going to take T-Mac. I don't think that's going to be a thing.
I don't think that's a thing. I think they're going to go either Genty or...
Yeah, he's a 10 to 15, draft pick. He's not top 10. Yeah. So if they get Gentry or if somebody trades up and gets him, then that means we're going to either get probably somebody like Walker, Graham, or a tackle. I mean, that's realistic what we're going to do. And it's even less probable that we're going to trade back. Most of Raider Nation wants Gentry, or they want us to trade back and get an additional starter in the second. I think we can get Will Johnson or Brown in a later pick. Let somebody trade up and take Sanders. I think Sanders is going to fall to 9. I think he's going to the Saints. And like I said, I keep telling people Dart's going to go to Steelers. Just watch. Yeah. 3 quarterbacks in the first round with a possible 4th in a row at the bottom of the first.
We'll see. We gotta finalize our bet at the end of this stream.
Yeah. So I'm saying Dart's going in the first. So the over/under of quarterback is 2.5. Yeah. So with that, it just kind of depends who we're going to get. And I told Raider Nation that half of us are going to be upset, but you got to look at it this way: we're going to get a day 1 starter in the draft. Like we're going to get a very big hole. It just depends how flashy the pick is going to be, how sexy it is. And a tackle isn't, but I would love for us to get a tackle, move Glaze over to guard. I think he would excel at guard and really solidify that line.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of depends what we're going to do with Colton here too. What do you think is going to happen over with Colton Miller?
Oh, he's staying. There's no way. People, oh my God. That's what the most frustrating thing is. Like, he's been our tackle for so long. But he's ass. He's trash. The dude gave up one sack. Gave up one sack over the last 12 games of the season. One sack. That's it. 1 sack. He was coming off an injury. Guys like that are 6'6", 300 plus pounds can't miss camp days. They can't miss OTAs and rotations and snaps and reps because their body's not going to be fit like somebody that's 180-pound, 200-pound running back. Like these are massive human beings. And you're saying, hey, week 1, you had no practice, no prep. Come in and start and stop some of the best athletes in the world coming off that edge. You're going to have some problems. And he did for a month. Mm-hmm. And after that, he was solid. You know, he had some of the best pass rushing stats, had some of the best PFF grades. He gave up 1 sack over 12 weeks. Like really think about that. 1. He was in line with top 5 and 10 tackles in the NFL. So I think that's what he'll be if he comes into a healthy season. He will be, I'd say, top 10 tackle in the NFL. And, you know, his kryptonite has been Khalil Mack. So
I think that's where the comment comes in over here. He gets like a drum against better elite guys.
Yeah, not always, to be honest. The thing is, he was getting beat at the beginning of the season. After week 4, week 5, he wasn't getting beat as often. He's still a top 10 tackle. People don't realize that's such a hard position to fill. Think of all the rotation 2-3 years ago when Miller was our best offensive lineman, and all we had was Munford and these rotational guys, Illuminor at tackle. We never knew who the right tackle was going to be. It was a rotational of shit. And we had Miller to anchor our left side. He's still there. He's not going anywhere. He shouldn't go anywhere. If we draft a tackle and trade him, our offensive line is going to get worse.
Valid. I like it. Valid. I think Colton Miller is that guy too. Colton Miller goes way back with the team. But he's 1-on-1 versus a top guy. He's losing. Go ahead, Josh. Take it away.
There's a Campbell has the most famous quote for our offensive lineman. Did you see that in the draft or when he was doing the draft interviews? He said, if a defensive lineman gets 1 sack a game, he's an all-pro. If an offensive lineman gives up 1 sack a game, he's going to be cut, benched, or never play in the league again. And I'm like, and you think about that. Yeah, you're throwing the ball 500-600 times a year, and you're giving up 3 sacks, 4 sacks. You're elite. Like you're fucking amazing. You give up 0 to 1, you're an all-pro. 2 or 3, you're top 5. For the last 12 weeks of the season, Colton Miller was a 5 to 10 tackle in the NFL, and that's what he's going to be next year. He should be. And he was doing that with shitty coaching, too. That's the best part. You get him a good coach, somebody knows how to scheme and knows how to play to players' strengths, like Pete Carroll or, you know, our offensive coordinator is going to. I think he hasn't reached his full potential. That's all I'm saying. And a lot of these rookies haven't. You know, we're banging on Parnham. You know, we're banging on some of these rookies. They have not reached their full potential with our coaching carousel.
Josh is on it today. I can't. That was perfect. That's fair, actually. Yeah, I mean, if you give up, you know, say you give up a sack a game, like you were saying, if you're a defensive lineman, you get a sack a game, you're an all-pro.
Yeah,
imagine giving up 10 sacks, already calling for your head.
Yeah, they're like, fuck this guy. Yeah. And I can't remember what it was for Colton Miller. I had to pull up the numbers. I can't remember everything. But he gave up like 5 or 6 sacks the first 4 or 5 weeks, which is crazy. That's a lot. Like he was getting reamed. And then from week 5 on, he was lights out. He was like, okay, he was healthy. So I expect to see improvement from Glaze. If you watch Glaze's tape, you ever broke down his tape, you'd see he's a little bit slow. It's something that can be coached, the footwork and things like that, because he does have athleticism. That's what he was really good at Maryland. That's why we drafted him, because he can, pass block. So if he gets his feet a little bit better between him and gets his footwork down a little bit, I think he'll jump. He was probably a 30 to 40 tackle range for a rookie and a late round pick. Hey, that's good. That's what you needed. You don't need a top 5 guy at every position.
Yeah.
So, him moving to guard, I think he has the speed to play guard. He could pull. And he's big enough and strong enough to play inside interior
line. And the Raiders also, they brought in some competition. They brought in Alex Kappa. I mean, people don't like him because he gave up a sack a game.
Yeah. That's why he got cut.
He played very well in Tampa Bay. He's won a Super Bowl. I mean, it's a project, don't get me wrong, but he brings competition, and that's what the offensive line needs on the interior. So he's bringing that competition over to Vegas.
So let's say we go with Walker, because that seems like a real possibility. What happens to Wilson? Where does he go?
If you go Jalen Walker, I think they've been trying to convert. I mean, this is terrible to say, but I mean, they've been trying to convert him kind of as that rotational guy, that defensive tackle on run play, just because he's so wide. He has that long reach. But I mean, Tyree Wilson, he'll still be a factor. He's getting better every year. you can kind of probably say I mean, not like a Jalen Walker, but as a project, Jalen Walker, he might take a year to be good. Kind of similar to Tyree Wilson.
So for me, you can never have too many pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
Tyree Wilson is probably good for 5 to 6 sacks. I said this year, if we stay healthy, he might get to 8. I think that's 6.
And Tyree Wilson can be in the league for 12 years as a great player. I think obviously we took him just really high.
Yeah. So that's the problem. Like, he got drafted too high, so he's shooting himself in the foot. Like I said the same thing about Cleveland Farrell. Farrell's going to be a decade-long starter in the NFL. If you'd have drafted him in the late first or second round, people are like, hey, that's good. He's getting 4 or 5 sacks. He's stopping the run, and he's starting for a decade. But the problem is he was drafted in the top 10, and you see the guys around him are all pros and Pro Bowlers, and you have him that's just, hey, this is a solid guy who will start for your team. He's just not going to be flashy. When you draft him top 5, top 10, you want flashy. You want all pro. So
Jalen Walker doesn't do that for you, right?
No, he doesn't do that for me. No, he does not. I'm not going to be upset if we draft him. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be good. I think it's going to take him a couple years to be good because he's going to have to get his fit in the NFL. He's going to have to realize. So at Georgia, he's bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody on the field. He's one of the faster linebackers. He probably runs about a 4.5. He probably could run a little bit faster than that.
He's what, 6'1", right?
6'1", 240.
Yeah.
6'2", 240, somewhere around there. Same size as White. He's literally the same size as White, almost the same size as Simmons, who are those freak athlete tweener players. You got to find where you're going to play in the NFL. You can't bounce around, position to position. For me, it's like you got to stick with linebacker. You got to learn how to read the run and pass, or you got to be an edge and you got to learn how to pass rush. He's not exceptional at either one. He's good at them both. So he's going to have to pick which one he's going to be. To me, I think he's going to be better at the edge because of his speed and athleticism, but his size may hamper that because he's a little bit smaller, shorter reach. I don't know if he'll ever be ready to excel at a pass rusher, so they might just throw him out at linebacker.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's take a comment here from the comment section. It's directed towards you, Josh. What kind of costume are you wearing at the draft party since Minshew is gone?
Oh my God,
that's coming from
Brian. He messes me today. No outfit, dude. I've gotten so whenever I say
no outfit
this year, man.
Not even like a little cosplay.
No, I'm just wearing a Steelers jersey. No, so last year I did it to be funny because somebody said like, dude, you look like Minshew, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna wear the outfit he wore to camp, and that's been haunting me all year. Whenever I try to make a valid point and somebody wants to argue, they have that fucking photo screenshot and they just comment it.
You got no comeback.
And people think I dress like I was like, no, I did it because I thought it would be funny. And I wore booty shorts for the day running around. I thought it was funny.
It was hilarious. And I do see those comments. You'll try to talk ball on Twitter. And they'll be like, didn't you dress up
throw that photo out? I'm like,
and you're like, fuck you.
And then somebody posted like their draft day memories and they tagged me because I was in it like a major profile. And I was like, that photo has haunted me for a fucking year.
That's hilarious. Who would have thought that photo would have haunted you more than the Kermit? That's actually pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man, the comment section is all saying Ashton Gentry. By the way, I agree. I would love. Ashton.
We all agree.
I agree. I would love the guy. He'd be a great back for years and years and years. It's super early for a running back. I mean, I'm still kind of stuck in that mindset where running back at the 6th pick is kind of tough. But I mean, he's going to be generational. I mean, I think everyone sees it. He had the best next gen grade, according to next gen stats, Ashton Gentry. So I guess we will see where that happens there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick. Do you think that because there's a comment here, do you think that the Sanders dream is dead?
Yeah, I think that's gone. I don't think it doesn't help us win now. It doesn't give us a better chance to get to the playoffs. He's going to want to be a year 1 starter, and that's not going to happen for 2 or 3 years. So the Monroe thing, you hear the Raiders are eyeballing him. That is a 2 to 3 year project. I've been saying it, and it's the funniest shit. I love saying it. He can't throw, but you can teach that in the NFL. And I give the biggest comparison to Josh Allen. If you ever watched Josh Allen's fundamentals the first few years in the league, that dude could not throw a fucking ball, and he admitted it. He said, my fundamentals were all out of whack. He's like, I was throwing with my body. My shoulders hurt. My arms hurt after games because I was just flinging it because I didn't have the proper coaching to know how to throw the ball with my feet underneath me. And you see how much more accurate and how much more of a weapon he is now versus year 1 and 2. So you can teach somebody to throw a ball. You can't teach somebody to run a 4-3. You can't teach somebody pocket presence. You can't teach somebody to know when to scramble. You look at Michael Vick, the same thing. That guy could not throw for shit when he came out of college. Guy had like 6 touchdown passes in senior year. It's a developmental player that's going to take 2 or 3 years. You know, that speed and athleticism is there. He doesn't know how to read plays very well. Again, that's a coachable thing if he's willing to put in the time. You know, Jalen Hurts was the same way. Jalen Hurts lit it up in college, lost his job to Tua, went to Oklahoma, was better, but came in the league and he couldn't really throw. He's getting better, but you still see some of that issues where it's like he can't read coverages at times. And there's times when he's lights out. You're like, where the hell is this guy? You know, no, you can teach quarterback how to throw. That's not an issue.
Yeah. And he does have a big arm. I think that he's a very, if we go linebacker, he's a very realistic pick with our 2nd round pick. You know, there's a reason. I mean, I like to think there's a reason they brought Geno Smith, that they have kind of a plan leading up for these next 2 years. Because obviously Geno's not going to be there for 6-7 years, you know? Yeah. We have to find a quarterback sometime. We can't just keep rolling with these 30-year-olds and 30-plus-year-olds and hope that something good's going to happen, that one, you know, they're just going to fall into our lap and we're going to make a Super Bowl with, you know, a Geno Smith or a Jimmy G or, you know, something like that. So we have to find an answer somewhere. And I think Milroe would be a good one as well.
I can see them. So that's the problem, I think, with Milroe. Everybody's like, oh, he's a 3rd round pick. I'm like, no, he's going in the 2nd because of athletic ability. I was like, there's no way a quarterback that is that fast, that strong, that athletic is going to fall. And a lot of times it does not work. You know, you saw Malik with the Titans, didn't work out. You saw other quarterbacks that were drafted from D2 schools, didn't work out. You saw Trey Lance, didn't work out. A lot of athletic guys don't work out in the NFL, but they still give them the shot. Like, hey, can we see if these guys can go through?
Yeah, they can tweak them, make them better.
Yeah, another good one that people always laugh about. He's not athletic now, but Joe Flacco ran a fucking like wing T in college. You know, like he was a running quarterback. Rich Gannon was the same way. He was a running quarterback, and it took them years to develop. Yeah, Rich Gannon and Flacco went to the same school, by the way.
I did not know that. That is a crazy.
Did they go to Delaware? Did they go to Delaware? Yeah, they both went. No, was it Delaware? I have to double check. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm almost positive. But
Joe Flacco had the best Linsanity runs ever.
But for me, he is a 2-3 year project. But I think if we do draft him in the 2nd round, and we don't draft and we say we get a defensive player in the 1st, that 3rd round running back, I don't think is going to be very productive for us. I think we're still going to have a hole at running back, and it's going to have some struggles for Geno.
Yeah, I agree. You have to get a running back somewhere. I don't even know who would be there in the 3rd round. I know we did the mock draft a few weeks ago. I believe Hampton was there. I don't think Judkins or Henderson will go past the 2nd round.
People are saying Henderson might go to the 1st, and I was like, that's kind of wild. That's a reach to me.
That's a reach.
I would say early 2nd, and a lot of my mock drafts, I nabbed him with my first. I nabbed Judkins or Henderson with my first 2nd round pick, and PFF hated it. I'm like, that's where he's going to go. Somebody's going to nab him because of his size and athletic ability. Either one of them. They're both big. They're both strong. And they both run full 440s. They're killer running backs. They're the number 3 running backs in the draft this year. So somebody's going to get him in the 2nd. There's always – it's not a reach if they're good. That's the thing. And they should be good. You know, running back is such a short-term position in the NFL right now. You get him on that 4th year. You're lucky if you get another 2-year contract out of him. It's probably going to be with another team.
Yeah.
So
most likely, yeah. PFF mock grades are awful. Yes, they are. We have talked about that a lot on here. They're terrible just because of the sample size. The variables are way too broad to grade off PFF. 2013 playoffs, Flacco was insane. That was a great fucking
I actually got a story about him. So yeah, Joe Flacco and Rich Gannon, they go to the same school. I had to Google it real quick. I was like, I'm almost positive both went to Delaware. They have the Michigan helmets. So I was sitting there talking to Bill Romanowski when he was with the 95 Rock, wherever the hell it was in Oakland. And it was after Joe Flacco signed his major contract. And Romanowski was like, they're like, well, he's like, what the fuck? He's like, that guy's not even good. He's good for one fucking year and he gets all this like cussing. Like, who the fuck would give him all this money? He didn't say it on air. He said it when the mic was cut off. But he's like, he was gone for 1 year and they gave him all this money. He's like, that is so stupid. Like, he got good when he needed to be, and that's all they're gonna get out of him. But yeah, he was talking shit about the contract.
Won a Super Bowl. That's all that matters.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's all that matters. He won a fucking Super Bowl. So,
I mean, the other part of that is the AOC trade. What do you think is going to happen with him, man? Think he's gone?
AOC, I mean, it all depends. If we draft a quarterback, obviously he's gone. I know we talked about it last week that we're screwed already with him. Either way, because if we take a quarterback, teams are going to be like, "Fuck it, just release him. I'm not going to trade you a 7th round pick." You know?
Yeah.
All the draft, all the capital, all the leverage is gone with AOC come Thursday. Well, Friday. I guess you can still kind of trade him maybe Friday, but who's going to take him? I mean, be realistic. There's not many teams that are going to go gung-ho for a backup quarterback. I can't name a team off the top of my head right now that would trade for AOC, and I think that is not a what's the word I'm looking for? That's not like a jab at AOC. AOC's
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. Colts.
I don't know, man.
That's it.
I don't know. It's not a jab at AOC. AOC is going to be a great backup. He's going to be the fucking Kellen Moore for somebody for 10, 20, 10, 15 years. Yeah. It's not a jab at AOC. He's going to be a great backup, but he's a clipboard holder, unfortunately. Very nice guy. We've had the honor to meet him a few times.
Yeah, and it sounds funny. You know how hard it is to find a backup quarterback in the NFL is actually functional? It's hard. It's fucking hard. And he is going to make $10 million a year to be a fucking backup somewhere. Like, that's just, it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And he might get a chance to start here and there and compete, but he's never going to be the guy.
Yeah. And we just lose all leverage. I mean, if we take a quarterback, teams are going to be like, bro, he's your 3rd string. We're not going to trade you anything for this. Release him then. And there's
somebody might pick up Tyler Show. We could pick up Tyler Show, even though he's like 26. And then obviously Will Howard, we always have that connection. He probably is going to go in the 4th. Milrose the 2nd. If we draft Gabriel, I'm like, dude, come on.
I'm not. He's too short. I think our realistic options, very, very realistic, is Milroe. If Jackson Dart falls to that 2nd round pick, I would 100% see us taking.
Yeah. If Dart makes it out of the 1st round, whatever team has the 1st pick in the 2nd round, they're going to get calls. Yeah. Nobody's going to take a chance on him.
I think that he's very realistic for the Raiders. Jalen Milroe. And I mean, if you want to throw a name, I don't know if he's realistic anymore. It was about 90% realistic. It's down to, I'm going to say, about 30%. A very low end now is Shador. He's probably not going to be a Raider. But I mean, he'll be there. So I mean, there's a chance that Mark Davis throws his word in there. I know they're good friends.
That's the thing now. Like, we were always talking about, like, shit, we're going to get a quarterback. Oh, we're going to get a quarterback. Now the quarterback's there, and we're not going to draft. All fucking year. Tank for Shador. Tank for Cam. We need a quarterback. Fuck, we won too many games. And now he's going to fucking be there, and we're not going to draft him.
We're not going to draft him. And it's because we traded for Geno. That plays a huge factor now in taking a quarterback at 6. Now with a trade like that, you got to get a guy in the 2nd and 3rd and develop him under Geno. Yeah. In my opinion.
So where do you think Sanders goes?
Pittsburgh.
That late in the 20s?
I think they trade up, probably go about 15, 16. Pittsburgh. I'm gonna say Pittsburgh.
You think he gets past the Saints at 9?
I think he gets past the Saints at 9.
Yeah. Carr's gone all year. So yeah. Carr's done.
Yeah. Someone was commenting on the Instagram chat that Shador was saying that he sounds like he's gonna be a Giant. So I don't know if you want to play with that a little bit.
I mean, if you play with that, Carter's probably gonna fall to 6. And my God, I would have a like, even though we got 2 defensive ends, I'm like, you gotta fucking Carter to me is gonna be the next Micah Parsons. Like, that's what he is. He's just gonna be. I think he has the potential to be better pass rusher than Max Crosby.
Yeah.
He has the potential because he's more athletic. That's the thing. He's just as good at rushing the passer, but he's more athletic than anybody on the field.
Mhm.
So, I mean, with that, like, fuck, dude, like you would just like Kuntz and Carter, maybe put Carter off the edge, put him at a linebacker.
Maybe you convert Tyree to a full-time defensive tackle. I've
Yeah.
always said Tyree would be a great defensive tackle. He's a big body. He can stop the run. He has that reach, to poke a football if a guy's running through the A gap, B gap. Put on 10 pounds. I think he'd be a great defensive tackle.
I mean, he's 270 already. Like, people forget that.
Huge. Yeah, the dude's huge. I think he'd be a fucking top-tier defense. I've been saying it for years now that he'd be a top-tier defensive tackle.
Yeah, I think he'd be good, but it's just
his reach is insane. He can guard 3 gaps just with his reach. The 49ers, the 49ers are a sneaky team to watch when drafting a quarterback. I did it. They don't want to pay Purdy.
Oh God, you see Purdy's gonna get they're estimating $50 million.
That's crazy. You know what though? If the Niners get Shador, fuck, that'd be pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That would be
I would have to watch him win. And Shanahan with Shador, like, that's just fucking unfair. That's unfair.
Dude, that would be absolutely insane.
You see what he's doing with Brock Purdy. If Shanahan gets a hold of Shador is going to excel there. If you don't think, even if you don't think he's good or if he's a game manager, he's probably going to be more skilled than Brock Purdy is. Like, it's
for sure. Yeah, for sure. You give him Kittle, you give him Ayuk coming back. I mean, he's gonna be great. That defense,
offensive line's have like 12 or something.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a good one. I totally forget about the Niners. They are very, very sneaky for a quarterback. And if they get Shador, I mean, they're kind of scary. I'm not even gonna lie. They're kind of scary. I would not want Shador to go there, especially with Christian McCaffrey. Fuck, that team would be nice. That team would be nice.
McCaffrey doesn't get hurt again.
Yeah, I know. He's running on his Achilles. Poor guy. He's running out. It's like made of paper now. What else do we have to touch on, Josh? I know we've been doing.
I mean, we got nothing until the draft. After the draft, I think we're going to see a bunch of free agents get signed. So that weekend, we're going to see a lot of players. Lockett's still a free agent. J.K. Dobbins is still a free agent. If we don't draft the running back high, I can see. The thing is with Lockett and Dobbins, they're probably going to get a 1 to 2 year deal. They're at the end of their career. The draft lowers their position of value, so you can get somebody for Dobbins for pretty cheap. Yeah. So I can see a team like the Raiders, if we don't get a top tier running back, picking up somebody like that. People forget we still have Sincere, so Sincere's probably going to get some carries this year.
Sincere's been getting roasted on Twitter. Poor guy. Have you seen that?
I don't know why.
He's been getting roasted on Twitter.
What are people saying? Like, people forget we have him.
People are just like, we always fantasize and glaze these mid running backs and so on.
Yeah, but nobody did that with Moser. It'd be like, oh, he ran for this many yards 2 years ago, so we can do that first. Everybody was fucking glazing Moser. I'm like, he's a 30-plus-year-old running back, and so
can't teach speed.
Yeah, but I'll give
that to Moser.
Father time, and you lose a step. So Dubois posted this a while back, and I looked into it. There's only been like 4 running backs in the NFL history to ever run for 500 yards at that age. It was Smith, Tomlinson. Shit, who were the other ones?
Adrian Peterson, probably Frank Gore.
Peterson, basically the elite of elite running backs have ever ran for more than 500 yards at his age. And it's like, dude, he's not elite. Like, he's going to get 300 yards. He's going to be a scat back. He's going to be a rotational. He's going to be what Abdullah was. That's what he'll be, most likely.
Abdullah, honestly, we talked so much shit about Abdullah, but he was fun last year.
And he was fun. He came in. We knew he had no future with us. We're like, hey, he's 30-plus years old. Fuck it. Throw him in there.
He played his heart out last year. I give props to Abdullah. Props to him. So,
but I think that's what he'll be, a special team tweener guy, third down back, scat back. They'll design plays that get him out in the open in the field. They're not going to have him run between the tackles. Like, that's not his thing anymore. But they'll give him swing passes and screens, just kind of let him use his speed. But beyond that, like, I'm going to say 300 to 400 yards max. I think there's better talented players that we can get, especially if we draft somebody that's good. Genty falls to us. McCormick and him are gonna be like, trade us now. Like, nobody else is gonna see the fucking field. Trade us now.
No, I agree. If they probably won't both be there. That's a pipe dream. I was gonna say if Gentry and somehow Abdul Carter happen to be there, you probably go with Carter. I would have to go with Carter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Carter's gonna be generational.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I posted it a little bit ago what the pay would be for Genty if we draft him at 6, because the pay is the same for the position. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, he would get 6.5 in 2025 and 7.2 in 2026. Basically, he'd be a top 10 paid running back.
That's insane. That is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he would be 9th 1 year and 10th the next. And his contract is pretty much in line with Tony Pollard.
That's
So
crazy.
he'd be a top 10 paid running back as a rookie.
That's crazy. You know what though? He might be worth it. So that's actually crazy to think though.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? While we're looking for things, what do you guys think about Shannon Sharp over here?
What happened?
You didn't hear about Shannon Sharp?
No.
He's about to get the bag for $50 million for his nightcap show.
Oh yeah, I know that. But I know something happened, but I don't know what.
Some 19-year-old came out and said, the allegation stories.
But like before he was 19, or she was 19?
No, like right now, like he's 54, she's 19.
Who cares? That's legal.
I know, but
you're a millionaire.
There's a phone call that came out saying that he's gonna choke her out if she like leaks anything and so on.
Oh, he threatened her. Oh, okay. So I was like, do we have a Trevor Bauer situation where he's
no, it's exactly like Trevor Bauer. They had very graphic. She was like, I want your black gravy. I swear, I'm not even joking. That it was
okay. This is the second.
This is reporting, guys. This is reporting. That's what it said.
I haven't read into it. Would that happen today?
Yeah, he's choking an OnlyFans girl. Yeah, he had a Trevor Bauer situation.
Well, I'm gonna have to Google that shit. I haven't really been paying attention to that.
The text messages are.
Oh, actually got sued.
Yeah.
The
text messages are pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
He offered $10 million. Oh,
yeah, he did. Yeah, he tried to settle before it went public, and she wanted $50 million.
Does he have $50 million?
I'm sure Nightcap's doing well. I heard he's doing pretty good with Nightcap. He's sponsored by like Blue Chew. He's making money.
Multiple times during a relationship. So she went back. Oh, she's full of shit. Yeah, she's a liar.
It's a Trevor Bauer situation for sure.
Bauer didn't do anything wrong. He just had over the top rough sex. I mean, I don't know. I still watch Bauer's page. I watch him pitch in Mexico all the time. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he does like Japan, Mexico. Trevor Bauer does do quite a bit, but the uncle
he'll have like people cussing him out in Spanish. He's like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah, Uncle Shay Shay. He's very. It's the same lawyer that tried suing Jay-Z. It's the same lawyer from the Deshaun Watson women. It's the same lawyer as the Deshaun Watson women too.
So if she has a case, what a hotline out there? I mean, we can lose some followers on this topic. I always think you got to take these things seriously, but you also got to take them with a grain of salt, because if you're ever in a position of power, you can abuse that power, but at the same time, people are going to try to use that power against you and get your bag, get your money.
Oh, of course.
So we see it time after time after time when people say these things and they're baseless, and we see it when they're true too. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen to this woman if it's deemed that it's baseless? Like with Bauer, we fucking checked him out. I don't know what happened with him. Did he ever sue the MLB? He was talking about it.
I don't know if he ever sued the MLB. He had I know he tried to get back into the majors and no team wants to sign him.
Yeah, no team wants to sign him. It's the whole Kaepernick bullshit all over again. He's being blackballed, for a different reason, obviously. Yeah. But it's like, at what point do you this chick said this. What are we gonna do to punish her? Are we gonna ruin her career? We're gonna take $50 million from her because she don't got that. What did it say? She works at LA Fitness. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Or that's where their relationship started?
That's where it had started, yeah. And I agree. I mean, people were saying that she waited until, because I forget, he's getting a contract, some fat contract for Nightcap, and it was starting to leak, and obviously that's when everything started to leak as well. So,
I mean, and he has a sponsorship for the dick pills too. If you ever seen that,
that was Blue Chew.
Yeah, he's like, get everything hard. It's like, we already saw your video. We know what you're doing. You're good.
I didn't know he had a video.
The video where that chick
yeah. I thought you meant piss off the owners, you're done. Yeah, he might have done something. I mean, behind the scenes, the NFL is like a mafia. They'll blue ball you out the league real fast.
Yeah,
just like the NBA. NBA is the same way. But yeah, that Shannon Sharp situation is pretty wild.
And we'll hear about it in a year, and they'll be. What will happen is this is always laugh. So like, you'll see when people sue in the NFL or they sue outside, they'll settle because they don't want the investigation to happen. When you don't settle, then you have the subpoenas. You have all the discovery and investigation. So they say, hey, we're going to subpoena phone records. We need all your bank records. We need all the audio and video records. Like we need everything. And when that shit comes out, it's no longer he said, she said. You know, if there's a message from her saying, I want you to punch me in the face during sex, like you're just it's not right, but you technically didn't do anything wrong. You know, it's one of those things.
I think all she said is she wanted his gravy.
That's gross.
That's 100% the gravy.
That Shannon Sharp gravy.
Shannon Sharp gravy.
And how the fuck did Joy Reid still have a job? That's what I want to know. Banging all of her coworkers, like.
All right, we might lose some followers. The Raiders.
Yeah, go Raiders.
Raiders.
Joy Reid is my icon for our fantasy football team now.
Jordan Reed?
Joy Reid or Joy?
Joy, yeah, the chick.
Lady?
Yeah.
Somebody's like, "Why'd you put her?" I'm like, "Cause I'm gonna fuck you all this shit."
So fucking out of pocket. Oh man. Raiders, I hope they do good this year. Do you have any more topics you want to cover, Josh?
I mean, pre-draft, I would say our ceiling is 10 wins. Our floor is probably 6. I am looking forward to this draft. Yeah.
Pre-draft, 10 wins, really?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Pre-draft,
I think we can. Our cap is 10 wins and a wild card loss.
Really?
That's our ceiling. Our floor is 6.
And
we live at the floor, so
that's a big difference there.
Yeah. Our floor is 6. You know,
that's a big difference. You know, King of Speed LA, I think will be good too after the draft. Right now, I would say 6-win team, 7-win team. That's where I'm at.
I have faith in Sincere. That's why I have faith in him.
You have faith in Gino?
If he has a running back and a line, yes. Without that, not a chance in hell.
10 wins with this roster is tough. We don't really know our linebacker. We don't have corners. I mean, there's a lot of holes.
When I look at like Stokes, I don't know why he didn't develop well in Green Bay. Stokes was the fucking man in college. Like it was him and oh my god, what the hell is his name? Surtain were the 2 best corners in the SEC. Mm-hmm. He just never developed. So again, you can attribute that to coaching, scheme, whatever the case may be. Pete Carroll is known for defensive backs. Graham is known for defensive ends. I think they're going to work together and make the defense better. You're going to have guys that you might get beat, but you have the speed to recover. I think that's what he's going for. Athletes, you want people on the ball. Every player on our team is fast besides Roberts right now. Mm-hmm. I think Paul Amal has the lowest RAS, like the athletic ability score, like 8.9. Chen is a 10. Chen is the highest rated athletic safety since they've been tracking it in the NFL ever. Size, speed, he runs like a 4.4 and he's 6'4". Like that's not a thing. He's it. So he's like in the 99th percentile of athletes in the NFL.
Yeah. I think with the good draft, I think we can be like, I agree with Azevedo here in our comments. We can be an 8 to 9 win team consistently with the good draft this Thursday. Well, weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I guess we'll see. I think we are gonna have a special episode, I believe, Friday for the draft. If Josh is still up for it, I know he's going to Vegas.
Depends on time. I'm flying to LA that day, so I'm leaving Vegas and going to LA because I'm going to Universal with my kids.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll make it happen. Just depends when I land and shit, or if we can do it before. Doesn't matter. I'll do it on my phone. Don't matter.
Okay. Yeah, we are talking about doing when we can analyze at least the first round pick. We could probably even get a second round or third round depending on the time that we do. Do talk and see. Maybe we'll do, if you have time. Maybe I'll hop on. We can do a live reaction for the second round pick. I don't know, something fun.
Dude, I'll go live in the plane and get yelled at by the stewardess.
Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, we appreciate you, King of Speed LA. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Yeah, we're gonna do a little special show. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna tap in. Please give us a subscribe on YouTube. It's free. QX Dope.
Free 99.
Free 99.
I think that's where we at now. Well, let's check that. I know it was almost 700. We're getting up there. I want to hit 1,000. We're gonna do 696. It's been 695 for like 3 weeks. What the fuck? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and share.
There you go. Josh is more excited with it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. Have a good weekend.